umaga po to our dear participants. It's a sunny morning here in Zamboanga City. I hope you are all right and excited for our session this morning. Ayan. Okay, so we're going to start in a short while. So meanwhile, please do get ready. If you have your coffee with you, please enjoy your coffee for a while. And then mag-start po tayo in a short while. So maraming salamat po for coming, and kung meron po kayong mga friends na kasali din po sa ating webinar this morning, please do remind them or text them na nandito na po kayo. Ayan, maraming salamat po, and we'll see you in a short while. Ayan. So, welcome guys. Magandang umaga po ulit sa lahat. And that was yun po yung ating mga po, no. Yun po yung ating mga upcoming webinars. So, I hope nakapag-register na po kayo and ready na po kayo sa ating webinar this morning. But before anything else, let's start our day with a prayer. Okay? So, let's start. Let's pray muna po, no? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, Lord God, for all the blessings. Thank you, Lord God, for allowing us to be together this morning. We pray, Lord, that may you bless us with a stable internet connection, no power interruption, Lord. And also, Lord, we pray for our speaker this morning and for our technical team. May you bless us, Lord, sa lahat po namin gagawin today. And we also pray, Lord, for our participants, Lord God. Kung ano man po yung mga karamdaman po nila or pangailangan po nila, may you bless them, O God, and provide their needs. May you also bless them, Lord, na kung ano man po yung mga matutunan po nila this morning with us, sana po ma-apply po nila ito sa kanilang mga work po, O God. Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to share and help us, Lord God, to glorify with our works. We love you so much, and we just bring back all the glory and honor to you. This is in Jesus' name. Amen. Ayan. So magandang umaga po ulit. Yan, nakailang magandang umaga na po ako ngayon, no? Talagang kailangan maganda po lagi ang ating umaga. Ayan, okay. So, before anything else, sa ating chat box po, dear participants, okay, kindly type kung ano po yung breakfast natin this morning. Ayan. Kung kayo po ay nakapag-breakfast na, ano po yung breakfast natin ngayong umaga? Ayan. Sir Louie, Sir Aljo, and Sir George, kayo po ba ay nakapag-breakfast na?
Yes, Roms.
Yan, okay. That's good. Oy, si Teacher Rowena, I'm on fasting. Okay. Sabi naman ni Teacher Logardo, coffee and biscuits naman. And then veggie soup. Wow, napaka-healthy ni Sir Chris. Ayan. Okay, so how about the others? Baka yung iba ay nagta-type pa. Ayan. Ako naman, imagine having bacon, eggs, brewed coffee. Wow naman, napaka... yan na ba yung tinatawag nila, sir, na American breakfast po ba yan sa mga hotels?
Imagine lang, Roms.
Imagine, okay. Ayan. Parang na-imagine ko rin, sir, yung yung parang... yung ating barbecue session last time with the department natin. Ayan, nakakatuwa yung gawin. Ayan, hopefully magawa natin yun ulit, yung mga friends po natin, no? Ayun, sabi ni Ma'am Jeanette, nag-rice with boiled egg naman. Naalala ko tuloy yung aking C80 days, no? Yung boiled egg at rice at tuyo, tuyo, yun ang aming mga breakfast dati. Ayan, and then for Sir George naman, miswa, like crazy. Ayan, even more than words. Wow naman. Muntikan ko na kantahin yung song na yan. Okay. Ayan. Sir Aljo naman, coffee, bread lang. Ayan. Okay na yan, no? As in, at least nakakain po tayo. Ayan. Okay, so, maraming salamat po sa inyong mga pa-breakfast. I hope hindi po kayo nagutom. Okay? And I hope you are all ready for our webinar this morning. Ayan. So, again, I would like to welcome you to our Google Workspace for Education training series, no, by AFRIENDE Learning Hub. And I am your host, no, for 3 sessions already, I think. I am Romeo Rabahante Jr. I don't know, parang ngayon lang yata ako nagpakilala. I'm a Google for Education Certified Trainer. And lahat po kami dito, yung mga trainers po natin sa AFRIENDE Hub are all from Ateneo de Zamboanga University. And together with my wife, no, I'm also a content creator called the EdTech Explorer. Ayan, so, ayan. And of course, some expectation check muna po tayo, okay, bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating webinar, no? Okay, so first of all, lahat po ng isi-share po ng ating mga speakers are based on their experience. Okay, so talagang napaka-experience, may experience po talaga ang ating mga speakers sa pag-handle ng mga tools na isi-share nila po sa inyo. And of course, kasi nga po, no, sometimes yung may mga siguro may mga topics po kami na most probably you are already familiar with it. or kung hindi naman familiar, ay meron kayong ibang tools na ginagamit. And that's why one of our expectation check for this morning is let's be open to learning. Ayan. Okay, so as a teacher or any tech user, no, importante na marami tayong baon, no? May mga alternative tools po tayo sa mga pang everyday work po natin. So, let's be open sa mga possibilities. Let's be open sa anong pwede nating matutunan at anong pwede natin ma-apply sa ating mga works, no? But of course, ang ating isa sa mga expectation check for this morning is that let's participate actively. Ayan. Okay, so if you will notice, no, sa ating mga past 3 sessions, meron po tayong mga patanong, okay, mga katanungan ng ating mga speakers, nagtatanong po sila. So, or pa-learning anchor po nila. So, please do type your comments or your learning anchors just like what you did, no, earlier sa ating chat box. So, especially kapag, gaya ng sinabi ko, pag nakita nyo po itong learning anchor, this is one way also for you to share what you have learned. Not only, pwede kayo mag-share ng anong alam natin, no? We can learn from each other, no? So this platform, ang ideal po namin, hindi lang po kayo sa amin matututo, but at the same time, kayo po ay pwede rin po mag-share sa amin through the learning anchors na pwede nyong i-share sa amin, no? So please do share your learning anchors in the chat box. It's like our takeaways during the discussion, and we love to hear from you, and we love to also learn from you guys, no? So please do participate actively. Ayan. And of course, gaya po nakita nyo sa mga videos kanina, ito po yung mga natin. Ito po yung ating mga upcoming webinars. We're done with Enrich students online learning experience, and today we're going to talk about the Google Drive hacks, no? Together with our speaker this morning, no? So you might for those who are first time dito sa ating session, you might be wondering, sino ba to si Sir Louie, no? Sir Louie is the chair of the engineering department of the Ateneo de Zamboanga University and a fan of Google tools and products, no, with special interest in automation. Ayan. And of course, ang ating speaker ngayon ay hindi lang po bastang department chair or faculty, but he is a certified Google educator. Hindi lang level 1, but pang level 2 din. So ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, please help me welcome our speaker for today for Google Drive Hacks, Engineer Louie Vergil Gallardo. Sir Louie, magandang umaga po sa inyo, sir.
Thank you, Roms. Taas ng expectation dun sa picture, Roms.
Ay, respeto pa talaga yung photo niyo, sir.
Hindi nag-match ang picture pati ang video.
Ayan, okay. So, Sir Louie, please take it away po, sir.
Okay, wait. Let me share my screen. So, dagdagan ko lang yung good morning ni Roms. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session on Google Workspace for Education, brought to us by the good guys of AFRIENDE Learning Hub. Today's session will allow us to explore features of Google Drive and how to use it effectively and efficiently. If at any point in our session you need clarifications, please don't be shy to ask questions. As mentioned by Romeo, one of the expectation is for you to actively participate. If you know something, you share with us. If you don't know or you're confused, then you ask questions. So you can either type your questions through the chat box or raise your hand, and then you can tell us your questions directly. If you do want to follow along the demonstrated features, please make sure to log into your Google account to access your Google Drive. And all of the features that we're going to discuss is best done using Google Chrome. Mas madali siya sa Google Chrome. Right. There will be a series of questions to check your familiarity with Google Drive's features and functions before we discuss these items. All you need to do is type your answers in the chat box, letters or words that best represent your answer. There will be 1 point per question, no partial correct answer. It's 1 or nothing. And don't forget to take note of how many questions you got right. You might need that later. Okay, so let's start. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready, Sir Louis. Ayan.
Right, ready na daw. So, question 1. Mag-load. So, let's explore the fundamentals first. Which of the following statements are true about Google Drive? A, it allows for storing up to 1 terabyte. B, Google Drive has a desktop and mobile app versions. C, Google Drive is encrypted in transit and at rest. Or D, it allows for storing up to 15 gigabytes. So you type your answer or answers in the chat box. Nauna ang answers sa line mo, Roms.
Oo nga, sir. Sa sobrang ready po nila, sir. Ayan. So far po, sir, meron po tayong apat na or 5 nang sumasagot, sir. At mukha ang pulso ng ating bayan, sir, ay karamihan ay letter D. And then, kukunti po yung sumasagot sa letter B as in beta po, sir.
Ba't ayaw nila ng A? Ano? Ayaw
Oo
nila
nga,
ng
sir.
C.
Correct, sir, no? C as in cute, sir, di ba?
May nag-answer, Roms. B,
Ay.
C, and D.
Ayun. Pero wala pa ring letter A. Parang walang gustong sumagot ng letter A, sir.
Oh, sa akin, yung drive ko malapit nang umabot ng 1 terabyte. So,
alright. Ayan, meron pang sagot dito si Sir Chris po, sir. Wala, all of the above. Ayan. Nag-aanap sila ng all of the above po, sir.
sige, check natin yung answers. Is it A, B, C, or D, or everything, or combinations? Right. The answers are B, C, and D. Google Drive was introduced in 2012 as a file storage and synchronization service. So synchronization meaning you have your files in your computer or your mobile phone and then you sync it to your storage in the cloud. For individual accounts, for example, meron kang username at gmail.com, you are allowed to have 15 gigabytes of storage space. Okay? 15 gigabytes of storage space. For Google Drive, for Gmail, for photos, you will be allowed 15 gigabytes. For qualified educational institution, it allows up to 100 terabytes of pooled storage space. That means for the entire institution, entire organization, you have 100 terabytes to be shared by every user in that organization. Google Drive has a desktop and mobile app versions. So you can download it for mobile app in Play Store, and then for Google Drive, as soon as you log into your Google Drive in a browser, it will ask you if you want to install the desktop version. This will allow you to easily back up and sync your local files in your computer or in your cell phones to the cloud storage. Google Drive is encrypted in transit and at rest. That means it's encrypted during sending or uploading and downloading. And it's also encrypted while it's being stored in one of the secured Google servers. So these are the features of your Google Drive. So if you want to store your files in the cloud, then it's best to use Google Drive. It's secured and it's easy to use. Okay, so please take note of the number of items that you got correct. Let's proceed to question number 2. It's on uploading. So since Google Drive is an online repository of files, it allows users to upload various files. So which of the following statements are true about uploading files in Google Drive? Google Drive allows file uploading using the plus new button. Google Drive allows folder uploading using the plus new button. Or Google Drive allows uploading by dragging and dropping the files directly into the browser. And D, Google Drive allows image saving directly from any website.
Ayan.
Answers.
Ayan, so yun, may mabilis tayong sagot po dito, sir. Galing from Sir Chris po, no? ABC. Sabi naman po ni Sir Aljo, ABC. Tapos sabi ni Sir ni Ma'am Ara, ayan, letter A naman. From Ma'am Rowena, ABD. And then, pero mukhang karamihan, sir, ABC ang sagot nila, no? Although meron tayong sumagot na all of the above din po, sir.
Okay. So meron siyang A, B, C, D. Everything is well represented, no?
Correct po.
Okay, sige, let's check kung ano ang answers dito. So the answer is A, Google Drive allows file uploading using the plus new button. And it also allows uploading of folders using the plus new button. So let me show this one. So this is your Google Drive interface. These are all your files here. These are your recently accessed files. Maybe these are the newly uploaded files or the files that you recently edited or accessed. So it's displayed here. Then these are the folders in your drive. This is the plus new button. So if you click on that, so you can create new folder, you can upload a file, you can upload a folder. You can also access that by using right click on your drive. Yeah. So right click on your drive, you will have new folder, you will have the same tools, file upload, folder upload. The plus new button and the right click will also allow you to create new files. For example, new Google Docs files, blank document from a template, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and Google Forms. So these are also the methods for creating new files. So answers A and B are correct. You can access it using the plus new. You can upload a file or upload a folder. Going back, Google Drive allows uploading by dragging and dropping files directly into the browser. So that's also correct. That's the easiest way to upload a file. If you have this drive right here, and you have these files, I have these files in my computer. So all I need to do is select all of this and then drop it in my drive. Then I will see the progress bars or progress of the file uploaded here. So if it's uploaded, it has checked. If it's uploading, it will have the circle blue. Then everything is uploaded. I can see all of those here. So nandito na siya ngayon sa drive natin. It's as simple as drag and drop. Right. The fourth one, I'm not sure how many of you have tried this. Google Drive allows image saving directly from any website. You're not going to download the file, but from any website, you can save directly from Google to Google Drive. Show of hands kung sino nakatry na nito.
Parang merong isa po, sir, so far.
Si George.
Opo.
Hanap tayo dito ng dogs. Picture ng dogs. Okay. So I'm going to get that one. Open it. Yeah. So for example, I have this one. gustong kunin ito, all I need to do is right-click and then access Save Image to Google Drive. So you click that, you will see this one, an untitled image was saved to my drive. And this is my drive. I can rename that cute dog. Then apply. Then, so cute dog was saved to my drive. So I can change the folder location or I can choose to close it. Check my drive. Hopefully, nandito na yung cute dog. Ano? Let's refresh. Ayun. So I have here cute dog.jpg. It's also in my recently accessed files. So this was uploaded today. Yeah. You can try it in your browser. If it's not available in your browser, pag nag-right click kayo, wala kayong save to Google Drive, and you can save link or you can save the image to Google Drive. Maybe you have not included or installed the extension in your Chrome browser. So to install that feature or to make that feature available, go to web store. So let's type Chrome Store. And then you have here chrome.google.com web store. So let's open that and then search save to Google Drive. So you have here extension save to Google Drive. So this will allow you to save web content or screen capture directly to Google Drive. So you select that and then you click install if you have not installed it or add extension. Sa akin, I already installed it. So it's already I already have it here, but the button now is remove from Chrome. So if this dog, I'm going to right click, then save to so unnamed. So I'm going to rename that sad dog. Apply. Then close. Pagbalik ko dito, I just have to open it and meron akong unnamed dog. And then I have a sad dog. Right. So uploading of files to your drive, you can do that by using the plus new button, or you can simply drag your files from your computer and drop it directly into your Google Drive browser. Or you can also directly save files from any website using the Google Drive extension. Questions? So if you have questions, please type it in the chat box or raise your hand. Okay, so let's proceed to question number 3. File or folder creation. You can create files or folder, Google Doc, Sheet, Slides, Form in your Google Drive using the plus new button. The question is, are there any other means to create that outside of Google Drive page? So true or false, Google Drive allows creation of new files outside of Google Drive page.
Ayan sir, may quick answer po tayo from Sir Lugardo. True daw po sir ang chismis na meron daw. Opo, mukhang karamihan so far sir, marami po nag-true. So hindi lang po siya fake news. So
mag-recitation tayo. Yung first na nag-answer ng true, can you tell us how to do this? Ano yung method para gawin ito? Do share.
Ayan. Sir Lugardo sir, feel free to unmute your mic po and share to us po. Paano po to ginagawa sir?
So you're correct. The answer is true. Kung hindi naman, type lang sa chat box. Sige. Siya yata yung ano natin, Roms. Participants natin. So let's do this. Google Drive allows creation of new files outside of Google Drive page using the *.new shortcut. Tingnan natin kung paano gagawin yan. So the file, the asterisk represents the file that you want to create. So for example, it's doc. You type doc.new dun sa browser ninyo. Then it will automatically create a document file. If you're going to use sheet.new, it will also create a blank Google Sheet. Abang next. Slide. And slide.new. So meron ka rin Google Slide. And another one, form.new. It will allow you to create your Google Forms. So instead of opening your Google Drive, for example, ayaw nyo na magbukas ng Google Drive, you just want to create the new file because you have thought of something right at that moment. So just open your browser, make sure that you are logged into your account. Open the browser, type document.new, and then it will automatically create your document for you. That's one of the neat shortcut for Google Drive, especially in file creation. Right, so meron tayong, we have 3 who answered true, so you are correct. Next question. True or false? This is in organizing your Google Drive. Does the Google Drive has the capability to set colors to different folders? Google Drive allows users to set color coding scheme for different folders. Or meron ba tayong, diretso ba to sa Google Drive or meron pa tayong kailangang extension na i-install ulit dito?
Ayan sir, meron po tayong quick answer po from Teacher Farhana po. And then followed by Sir Locardo. True daw din po sir ang sagot po nila. Ayan, mukhang karamihan po sir, true po yung sinasagot po nila sir sa katanungan po natin. Parang wala pong gusto mag-false.
Sige, mamaya maglalagay ako ng false.
Sige po.
So the answer is true. You can organize your folders with colors. Let's take a look how that's possible. So these are your default folders. Lahat sila naka-black or dark gray. In organizing your Google Drive, you can set a theme for related folders or related files or related content. For example, this one is work file. So I'm going to right click on that folder and then change color. So for work file, I'm going to mark color that with red or cardinal red. Yan. So lahat ng work file, because let's assume I love my work, so kaya red, color of love. Personal files, so I'm going to color that with rainy sky. Hindi ko lang alam kung bakit. So untitled folder, I'm going to color that with rainy sky. All the rest, I'm going to color that with green. Ito naman, color lang natin ng green. It's easier to see. Mas madali silang makita lahat ng mga red. Okay, lahat ng mga work-related, it's red. Lahat ng other folders, for example, financial files or financial folders, I'm going to color it green since green is the color of money. So I'm going to do that. Red is work, blue is personal folders. So you can, yes, you can categorize by color. Yun. So yun yung mga easy features ng Google Drive. At least familiar tayo dyan. So let's proceed to the next question. Question number 5. on sharing and collaboration. Ito, Google Drive or Google Tools is always big on collaboration and sharing. So I'm sure that most of you have tried at least one of these. So which of the following statements are true about Google Drive sharing function? So it allows sharing with customized links. It allows expiration date on shared files. Files may be shared even to those without Google accounts. Or shared files may or may not be copied, downloaded, or printed.
Ayan, sir. So far po, may quick answer po tayo from Sir Eladio. Letter D po ang kanyang sagot. And then, meron karamihan po, nagsasabi po ng all of the above, pero meron pong isang sumagot na hindi po kasali ang letter D. Ayan, ABC po ang kanyang sagot. So, yun po yung so far na sagot po natin, Sir Louie.
Okay. So yung mga students ko na hindi sumagot dito. Okay, sige, let's check the answers. So it allows sharing with customized links. So tingnan natin kung paano ginagawa ito. Yan. I know most of you have tried this one. If you want to share a file, for example, right click and then share. By default, the file is set to restricted. So these are the customized links. For individual accounts, you only have two links. You have anyone with the link. This can be shared with anyone. And the other one is restricted. If the file or if the account is of the organization, like this one, this is of adsu.edu.ph. If you're going to get a link, you will have 3 sets of customized link. The default, which is restricted, and then anyone with the link, and then anyone within the organization. That's the third link. Okay. If the account belongs to an organization, you will have this. But if it's an individual account, you will only have 2 types of customized link. One is anyone with the link, the other one is restricted. The second one allows expiration date on shared files. Third one is files may be shared even to those without Google accounts. So dun muna tayo sa letter C. Files may be shared even to those without Google accounts. Now let's go back to the link. This one, the restricted link, will require you to add the specific person who the files will be shared with. The other one is anyone with the link. This one does not require a Google account. As long as they have the link, they can open the file.
Huh?
Yes, they can open the file. Let's try that. Incognito mode. Paste natin dito yung file or yung link. And then they can open the file. Sadyang mabilis lang talaga yung internet ko today. Okay. So, hintayin na natin. Magbubukas lang yun siguro anytime today. Okay. At least nagbukas ka agad. Okay. So, you can open the file even if you are not logged in. So, dito, mag-sign in. So, that means you're not logged into any Google account, but you can still open the file shared in Google Drive and using the link, anyone with the link. Now, let's go back to the one that we skipped. Allows expiration date on shared files. So, for example, I'm going to share this file. Say, for example, I'm going to share this to myself and to another friend of mine. And I'm going to set them as viewers. So we will not notify them anymore. I'm sharing this file with you. Okay. I'm going to send that. So I already shared that file. Balikan natin ulit, share. So these are the 3 users that I share the file with. They are set as viewers. Now, mostly when we do share the file, it's shared forever. Walang limitation, walang termination. We want that the files can only be shared or accessed by the students within the semester or within the quarter or within the school year. So we have to set an expiration date on your file. Okay? Tayo siya mag-work dito. Tayo sa, nasan yung isang file ko. Ayan. Restricted. I'm going to share this. This one. So viewer. Outside of the organization, I'm going to share it anyway. So these are the file that I shared with these people, yung My Travels. So I'm going to share it to them within the semester kasi dun lang nila kailangan yan. So I'm going to give them temporary access. And it should expire after 30 days. For example, mag-end yung school year natin. Kailan ba dapat mag-end yung school year natin? Mag-end tayo ng May 14, for example. So I'm going to give them access, temporary access up to May 14 only. 12 midnight, before 12 midnight of May 14. Okay? Yan. So meron na siyang clock dito, that means the access will expire. So bigyan ko rin ito ng temporary access. Yan. Bigyan ko siya ng up to, say for example, June. Kasi baka may kailangan pa siya sa pag-compute ng grade. So I'm going to save it. So when we look at them, yan, meron na silang ano dito, temporary access icon. Most of our files, we do share them indefinitely. You know? Marami akong files na ganun. Naka-share indefinitely. Hindi ko sila nilalagyan ng expiration. Then, over time, for example, this one is shared. Ang daming naka-shared dito. Ano? Yan, Easy Celebrity naka-share. This one naka-share din. So, what I'm going to do is, gagawin ko lang, tatanggalin ko lang sila dito. So instead of removing them, bigyan ko na lang sila ng temporary access which will expire at the set date. Para hindi ko na kailangan balikan 'yon and then hanapin what files did I share to which person, and then I have to remove the access. And finally, on sharing and collaboration, the shared files you can control if they can copy, download, or print it. Going back here, share. So share with people. In sharing, you have your icon here for settings. If you set them to editor, you don't want them to change the permission and share the files again. For example, it's a recording of your class session. You don't want the students to distribute it to other schools, to other class, to other students. So you can prevent them from downloading. Option to download, print, and copy, you remove that. So tatanggalin mo sila. So pag in-access na nila yan, if they're going to access the file, wala silang option to download the file or even print. Walang print na option. So they have to use a third-party application to download that. Okay. So that. Questions? If you have questions, again, please feel free to type it in the chat box or let us know.
Ayan. So far po sir, wala pa po nagta-type ng mga kuan po sir, no? Kasagutan po natin dito. Sir, may question po ako sir. Regarding po dito sa kuan po, no? About sa file sharing. Kapag naka-register po ba yung ating account sir sa tawag doon sa Google Workspace, kahit hindi sila involved sa organization, pwede lang po sir, no?
Yes, Rams, pwede. Mag-prompt lang siya na ano, na this person is outside, is not a member of the organization, and do you want to share it? So, ganun lang mangyayari. Magkakaroon na siya ng prompt. Nasubukan ko na rin mag-share ng Google Drive files kahit sa Yahoo users.
Oh.
So, pwede din siya.
Yeah, so very useful talaga si Google Drive sir, no?
Yes.
Kahit saan pwede siyang i-share.
Yes. Meron tayong ginagawa. There's one practice that we do. Kahit ako ganun din ginagawa ko. And when we want to share the file, for example, gusto kong mag-share sa'yo, I want to share with you a file, and it's located, for example, ito. So what I'm going to do is right-click and then share this file to you. Then add your name here, and then this one, share, and then done. Okay? What you can do to make sharing a lot easier is you create a shared folder, like the one I have here. Tingnan natin kung anong meron dito. So let's remove that. So your shared folder is empty. So what we can do is, if you want to share these files without rearranging our drives, the traditional way that we do is we create a copy of this file and then paste it here. Remember that if you're going to create a copy of the file, your file storage will, that file will use a portion of your file storage. So if you're going to make a copy of all of these files, just to share it to one person, so you're going to multiply the size of this file by 2. Ang isa sa mga recommended method in sharing your file is, instead of sharing the file, you share the shortcut of the file. So for this file, you're going to drag it here to the shared folder, but you don't want to transfer the file from this folder or from the main drive to the shared folder. So what we do is we press Control while dragging the file. That way, it will create a shortcut of the file in the folder. You are actually sharing the file, but you are not reorganizing or creating another copy of the file. So once this folder is shared or this shortcut is shared, they can access this file. They can access the original file. So if I'm going to share this one, drag it and then hold Control. So it will create another shortcut. So if the person to whom this folder is being shared with, if they're going to access the shortcut, they are actually accessing the original file. So if you're going to remove this folder, if you're going to delete that, then you don't have to worry about the files that you shared because the files are still in your original location. Ang ginagawa ko kasi, gumagawa ako ng shared folder and then gumagawa ako ng copy doon. And then nauubos yung storage space ko, no? So, saan ba yun? Yan. So storage space. So I'm using 101 gig for these files. So 96 gig and Gmail 2.88 gig. So instead of doing that, duplicating the files, you might want to share the shortcut of the file. It's Control and then drag the file into the folder, and then it will create the shortcut. You might want to try that. Especially sa mga teachers na mag-share ng mga syllabus or lesson plan sa mga sa co-teachers nila. Instead of making a copy of the files, and shortcut na lang para doon na kayo mag-work diretso sa isang file. Right, so that's for sharing and collaboration. Still on sharing and collaboration, one of the latest addition to Google Drive is the shared drive, aside from the shared folder. Okay? Meron tayong shared drive. So which of the following statements describe a Google shared drive? So A, files are owned by person who created the file or folder. There are 3 levels of access: contributor, content manager, and manager. Anybody with access to the drive can move the files in and out of the drive. And shared drive can sync to your files to your computer using backup and sync. Meron kasi tayong backup and sync option sa Google Drive. So what's the answer here?
Ayan, sir. We have quick answers po dito, sir. A, B, and D. At meron din po tayong from A, B, C, and D po, sir. Ayan. But the others po, medyo wala pa. Ayun, baka nag-decide pa po sila. May humabol po, sir. It's A, B, and letter D din po, sir. Parang wala po masyadong nagla-letter C as of the moment po, Sir Louie.
Okay. Tapos ang result nito, ang answer is letter C. So
Go,
let's
sir.
check kung anong mga answers. What are the correct answers? Yeah. The correct answer is, the only correct answer is letter B. Files are owned by the person who created the file. This is true for a shared file or shared folder. So if I'm sharing the file, I own the file or folder because I created the folder and it's being shared to everyone else, even if you are given the editor permission. In Google Shared Drive, it's owned by the manager. And all those given permission to upload the file. So all members of the Google Shared Drive, the manager and the content manager, where they can upload the file, own the files. Google Shared Drive is useful, especially if there's a, for example, you're working on a committee, tapos the members of the committee they change every year, for example, or officers in an organization. Instead of using the shared folder, you might want to use Google Shared Drive, because every member of that Google Shared Drive owns everything.
Ayun. So medyo naghang at nawala si Sir Louie, no? Ayan, sir.
Yes, Tom. So, ano nangyari sa akin?
Ayun, parang
Tinanggal mo ako, no?
nawala yata kayo, sir. Ayan.
Oo,
Okay.
nakita ko, tinanggal mo ako.
Lo. Go ahead, sir.
Sige. Wait, nasaan ba yun? Open tayo ng shared drives. This is a shared drive. Ito. Meron tayong shared with me. These are the files being shared with me using shared folder. These are the shared drives. Nicer, Junjula Intercession, ADSU Civil Engineering, and then Household Continuity Plan. Parang disaster recovery plan. So I have this one. So if I'm the one who's creating the folder, I'm the manager. Okay? I can assign different members with different levels. Pwede silang contributor, they can add and edit files. Content manager, they can add, edit, move, and delete files, and then they can also be manager. If I'm going to assign Romeo as a manager, for example, for this particular folder, they can remove me from the drive, from the shared drive. For example, I'm no longer part of the organization. They can remove me and the files that I uploaded there will still remain in the drive. Unlike the shared drive, I shared it with Romeo. If I decide to, if my account will be removed from the organization, all the files that I shared with the organization or with anybody in the organization will also go with me. Mawawala din yun. Yung shared drive, this is some sort of permanent with everybody owning it, as long as they are designated as manager. So meron ka dito, manager. So ako ang manager. Pwede ko i-assign, for example, si Mao, assign siya as manager. Pwede siyang mag-add ngayon ng tao. Okay? For example, this one. Yan. This one, I'm not a manager. So I can view the members. Pwede ko makita kung sino-sino yung mga members. But I cannot add a new person or a new member. Okay. So that. So we have seen the 3 levels of access: contributor, content manager, and manager. Not all of this can download files from the shared drive. Contributor, they can add files. Okay. They can add files. Content manager, they can add files and folders and move files within the folders in the drive. Manager, they can add files, they can add folders, they can download folders, they can download files. So balik tayo dito sa Google shared folder. A shared drive. So dito, I'm not a manager. So try tayong mag-download ng file. Yan. So I'm going to download the file. Converting to Word. Hindi ko alam kung anong role ko dito. Ayan, I can download this one. But moving from one shared drive to another, hindi ko pwedeng gawin. Ayan, move to, hindi ko alam kung anong rights ko dito. I was only invited to this one. Ayan. So nicer lang siya, diretso. And I cannot move it to another file, shared drives. So hanggang dito lang yung access ko within the shared drive. Hindi ako pwedeng mag-transfer ng mga files to other shared drives. So gagawin ko ito, for example, I'm the moderator of 3 organizations. Pwede ako mag-transfer ng mga files for 3 organizations. Pero yung mga members ng organization, hindi sila pwedeng mag-copy ng mga files from this drive or move directly from this drive to another shared drive. So meron silang restriction. So that's the level of access. Anybody with access to the drive can move the files in and out of the drive. So this is not true. Content manager and manager, they can do that. And if you are assigned as viewer or commenter, then you cannot move the files. And also, shared drive can sync to your files, to your computers using backup and sync. This is not allowed in shared drive. What you can do is install a Google Drive to your desktop computer, and then you can sync using that desktop version of your Google Drive. You cannot use the backup and sync feature of the Google Drive from the browser. So for this question, you only have letter B. Sorry about that. Okay. So again, your Google shared drive, the Google shared drive is useful especially for organizations where there are constant movement or reassigning of people. For example, student organization and faculty organization. Usually nagbabago yung mga officers, sets of officers every year. So you can use this one instead of shared folder. Kasi what if si George ngayon ang presidente, he uses a shared folder. Nung umalis si George, tinanggal niya rin yung access ninyong lahat, then you're going back to square one. Kaya, nasaan na yung constitution and bylaws ng organization? We don't know that. We asked the previous president. Kasi tinanggal na nila yung access dun sa shared folder. All right. Question number 7. 5 more questions and we're done. This is on file handling. Google Drive can convert Microsoft files to its Google Suite equivalent. So DocX to Google Docs, SX to Google Sheets. Is this true?
Ayan. So far, sir, meron po tayong 2 quick answers at lahat po ay true, sir. Wala pa po nagpo-false.
Wala akong makita sa chat box ko, Roms. Naka-private sa'yo?
Hindi po,
Or
sir.
late sa
Naka-everyone
akin?
po ito, sir.
Late sa akin.
Ayun. Ayun. Meron pong pauso si Sir George, sir. True yung kanyang sagot pero kuan po, parang may space in between yung bawat letters. Opo.
Gusto niyo emphasize, ha?
Opo. Nagpapauso po si Sir George.
Para hindi halata na binigyan ko na siya ng answer kagabi, ano, Roms?
Yes, sir. Tapos, sir, meron din po pauso si Sir Chris ngayon. Kung
Okay.
horizontal naman yung kay Sir George, ngayon naman pa-vertical. True, na may pa-smiley.
Okay. Gusto ko yung naka-arco. Sige. So the answer for this one is yes, it's true. Hindi siya chismis. So Google Drive can convert Microsoft files to its Google Docs equivalent. Do I need to show that? Meron ba ako dito? Wala pa akong. Let me check kung meron akong My Drive. Hirapan mo maghanap ng mga files niyo. Dami pa namang laman nitong drive na to. Yun. So, 2 final. This one is, I think it's, ito. This W is a DocX. Yun namang may horizontal lines. This is a Google Docs file. I think I can open this one. Yeah. So to convert the files, simply open it with Google Docs. For example, if it's a document file, document file. Dito kaya. Ito, class notes. So I'm going to open this with Google Docs. Yan. On. Sobrang bilis ng internet natin, Roms.
Baka meron silang
Okay.
maintenance, sir.
Ano man?
Naka-fiber kayo, sir, di ba?
Yes, Roms. Oh.
Okay,
Slow
ahead,
fiber. So this is the class notes. It's in DocX dito. So you go to File and then Save as Google Docs. Save as lang ang kailangan natin. So it will create a Google Docs version. So makikita ninyo wala na siyang nakalagay dito na DocX. Unlike this one, although this is opened in Google Docs, this is still in Microsoft Word format. You have that. For Excel file, the same thing. You can also do that with PDF actually. So this one is a permanent file. You cannot edit this and this one too. So you right click, open with Google Docs. It will make PDF or uneditable files into editable format. Yan. So you have this one. Ito, this is a picture, PDF with pictures and those texts. So instead of typing it again, for example, may nakuha kayong mga brochures or mga documents in PDF, and you want to extract the text there for your report, and you can simply right click and then open it with Docs, and it will make the file editable. So yung mga text niya kinuha niyo na kaagad. Okay, so that, which brings us to our next question. If it can do that to a PDF, can it do the same thing with image files? So question number 8 is true or false. Google Drive can extract text from image files. So it can extract text from PDF, which is basically a text file. Can it do that in image files?
Ayan, sir.
For
So,
example, merong... Sige, Rams.
go
Sorry.
ahead, sir. Go ahead po.
Okay,
Ayan.
ikaw, Rams.
Oh. May mga sumasagot na po, sir, dito sa ating chat box, sir. So far,
Wrong
may
answer si
dalawang...
Chris.
Nagpapauso din si Sir Chris. Agree po sila at meron naman din pong hindi po sigurado sa sagot pero po siya, parang false daw po. Ayan. Fake news kumbaga.
Pero parang correct pa rin siya, Rams, yung si Ara kasi nakalagay dito true or false question mark.
Ay, oo.
So maybe she's not asking a question. She's answering based on what we have, based on the options.
Pwede. Correct po, sir.
Sige. So let's check. The answer is true. Google Drive can extract text from image files. Google Drive has a built-in optical character recognition or yung OCR. So for example, may natanggap kayo, you receive a brochure or a product manual that you want to incorporate in your laboratory manual. So instead of typing that one by one, you can use Google's OCR, optical character recognition, to extract the text from the image file. If you receive a physical copy of the magazine, you scan that, then convert that to image, upload the image, and then you can extract the text from the image file. So let's check here. I have here a slide. So for example, your teacher gave you a slide or an image version of the slides. So instead of printing it in color, you only want to extract the text. So upload it in Google Drive, right click, open with Google Docs. And Google Docs will automatically extract the files or the text from the file. So this is the original image. This is the, or these are the extracted text from that image. So you can do that with image in Google Drive. The question is, what is the limitation of Google's optical character recognition? So may nakakaalam ba sa inyo kung ano ang limitation nito? You can extract text from PDF, you can extract text from image. However, you cannot extract a text from a PDF of an image. So if it's an image file converted to PDF, you cannot extract the text from that. So for example, this is a book on engineering management. It's in PDF, but this is a scanned image converted to PDF. So this is the converted, still image. It did not extract the text. So that's the only limitation of the optical character recognition of Google Drive. It can extract text from PDF, it can extract text from image. However, it cannot extract text from an image which is already converted to PDF. Okay. So next, question number 9. This is on advanced search. You can perform or true or false, you can perform Google Drive search from your browser without having to actually open your Google Drive. True or false? It means that there's a search in your Google Drive, but instead of using that, I'm going to perform the Google Drive search from my browser. Dito. Address bar of my browser. Awesome if true. Oo nga, George, ano? Pero may nag-answer ng true kasi.
Yes, sir. Pero meron din nag-answer ng false. Ayan.
Yung isa true? Yung isa true, definitely true.
Correct, sir. You sure talaga?
Yes. Okay. So the answer is true. Yeah. Punta tayo dito. Yan. Close ko lang yung iba. So, sobrang dami na nila. So dito tayo. Yan. Say for example, I'm going to search for, ano ba meron ako dito? Cheat mode. Sad dog and cute dog. Yan. So I'm going to search for from my drive. Yan. Sad dog. So as you can see here, meron ako search Google Drive and then sad dog. I'm going to press enter. It will go to my Google Drive and search for a sad dog. Yeah. So let's do that again. Dito tayo ulit. I'm going to type drive and then tab. So if I'm going to type drive and then tab, it will automatically execute search Google Drive. Cute dog. So I can do that. So even if my Google Drive is not open, close natin sila. As long as I'm logged in, you can do that. So drive, PDF. So I can do that. I can search in Google Drive directly from the browser. Okay. So you can try that in your browser. YouTube. Right now, YouTube. Video. Abang YouTube. YT. And if I'm going to type YT, and then tab, search YouTube. I can do that without opening YouTube. So diretso siya kaagad. Lahat ng search results, i-open niya yung YouTube and then display the search results. Like that. So you don't need to open your Google Drive. Yan. And then you don't need to open YouTube. So if you can do that, then congratulations. If you can't, you need to make an adjustment in your browser. So you can go to settings. You can go to settings. You can go to search engine. Manage search engine. And add. So search engine is Google Drive. Your keyword is drive. Then URL with asterisk in place of query. So ilalagay natin dyan is HTTPS. Yan ko na lang, mahirap mag-type. Oops. What did I do? Dito pala siya sa other search engine. So the search engine is Google Drive. The keyword is drive. Yan. And then URL is drive.google.com, drive UO search. And then that. So you save. For YouTube, I also have YouTube here. I also have Google Maps here. for other search engine. So if you want to search the maps, just type maps, then tab, then it will search Google Maps. If you're going to type YT tab, then it will search YouTube directly from the browser without having to open your Drive or the YouTube or Google Maps. Okay. Yes, Romeo. Taas ka naman ng kamay.
Yeah. Sir, pwede po pa-type nun sa chat box natin or pa-paste nung URL, sir? Para magamit namin. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Roms. So that. Balikan natin kasi baka makalimutan ko rin. So this is, yan. Oops, mali. Saan yun? Drive. So your search engine is Drive. Your keyword is Drive. So for YouTube, pwede rin sa YouTube, let's copy this. So this is for YouTube. You can do that. Para directly na sa browser, you don't need to open the Drive or open YouTube or open Maps. Diretso kayong mag-search doon. There's another way to do that. For example, dog, tapos site, type Google drive.google.com. You can do that. But instead of doing this, diretso na kayo. Drive and then tab and then dog. So diretso. It will search for all files with dogs in it. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Let's proceed to question number 10. Still on search. Yeah. If you're going to use Google Drive's advanced search, which of the following filters are available in the advanced search option? You can choose file type. You can choose who owns the file, location of the file, date modified, file name or part of the file name, words within the file, image in the file, color of the text in the file. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Choose all that apply.
Parang first time yata to, sir, na maraming choices tayo, sir. Ano?
Nag-open pa yan ng Google Drive search.
Yes, sir. Ayan po. So type your answers po. We have 8 choices to choose from. Ayun.
Sana all. Yes, Chris, sana.
I think, Sir Louie, ito yung pinakamadaling sagot. All of the above na lang daw po. Mahirap magpili.
Okay. Sige. All of the above. Yeah. Let's see kung tama ba talaga. The answers are all except G and H. You can search for file type, who owns the file. Ayun, may humabol, A to F. Yan. File type, who owns the file, location of the file, date modified, file name, part of the file name, words within the file. Image in the file, you cannot search, that's not one of the filters. And color of text in the file, that's not one of the filters as well. Okay. Remember that we are asking for the filter, although you can search for image in the file or color of text in the file using words within the file. You can do that. So let's go to my drive. Let's open advanced options. Ito. Yan. So you have here type. Say for example, let's do photos and images. Owner, owned by me. If it's not owned by you, that means it's being shared to you. So not owned by me. If you know who shared it with you, then you can use specific person. So owned by me, location is, and if you know the folder, then you can set the folder. But if it's not, then you can search anywhere. Or you can select this one, in trash, starred, and encrypted. Date modified, you can do that. Enter a term that matches part of the file name. So this is the item name. And words within the file has the words. Okay. So for example, let's do ano bang pwede natin beach or light. Let's search for the word light, lesson light, beach. Wala rin. Wala talaga yung files dito. So let's do any, and then it's the words light. Yeah. So meron dalawang file na merong light. Merong text sa loob na merong light. So let's blue letters. Let's do that. Text pa. Normally drive ito. Yun, type PDF. So you can search any type. If you can remember part of the file name, say for example, alam ko meron siyang CMO. Hindi mo na alam kung nasaan siya or kung what CMO number it is. You can use the advanced filters. So you have the types. You can search folder, shortcuts, drawings, archives, videos, anything that you have in your drive, even the sites. You can search for the owner, location, date modified, and then what we usually do, what we usually use for search is actually either item name or has the words found in the file, either part of the file name or inside the file itself. Okay, so these are the filters. So the answers are all of this except G and H. These two are parts of F. Okay, so second to last question or the final question. It's online or offline? Google Drive is strong in collaboration and sharing. That means it's always online. True or false? The only limitation of Google Drive is its lack of ability to function in offline mode. So partially true. So merong true, merong false. So kailangan natin ng tiebreaker. True. The limitation of Google Drive is its lack of ability to function in offline mode. That means, if you're saying it's true, that means Google Drive will only work in online mode. If you're saying it's false, then you're saying that it can function in offline mode. So let's check. The answer is false. Google Drive can work both in online and offline mode. So for example, Google Docs has offline sync. It allows you to work on your documents while you're out of Wi-Fi's reach and will sync back as soon as you have your internet connection back. Now, how do we enable offline mode in Google Drive? So Google Drive is, again, by default online. You can install the drive in your computer to have a local copy of your files, or you can enable offline mode. So you simply go to settings, and then open it. So you have it here. Yan. So you have here offline. Create, open, and edit your recent Google Docs, Sheets, and slide files on this device while offline. So you can open the file, make it available offline. Then you can work on it. As soon as you have the internet, then it will sync back to your Google Drive in the cloud. So you select that and setting up offline. Done. So let's wait while it sets offline. If you don't want to do that, another way is to get Google Drive for desktop. That way you can use your Google Drive even if it's offline or you don't have internet. Okay. Next question, or the final question. On storage. File attachments sent and received through Gmail will consume Google Drive storage space. Okay. So does your Google Drive only use up storage by with the files you uploaded in Google Drive, or it will also include in the computation of the total storage the files that you have received and sent through Google or Gmail? File attachments sent and received through Gmail will consume Google Drive storage space. Our answers are, merong answers true. And may nag-answer ng fake news, false. May nag-answer ng false. And si Miss Rowena, it's false. Si Miss Farhana, it's false. Si Chris, false. Si Locardo Jr. says it's true. Okay, let's check kung anong answer dito. Yan. The answer is true. And going back to our drive, saan ba yung drive ko dito? So your Google Drive is connected or collects files from your drive, from the drive itself, and then from Gmail and also Google Photos. So the files you uploaded in Google Photos will be computed as part of your Google Drive storage space. If you want to upload files, for example, in your Google Photos, if you're going to upload photos there of very high resolution, the original resolution of your files, it will consume your Google Drive storage space. But if you're going to upload the files in your Google Photos using the Google High Resolution, it will not consume your storage space. The files that you received and you sent through Gmail will also consume your Google Drive storage space. So the Drive, the Gmail, and the Photos are all part of your Google storage. Now I have here 18 gig of files, no? This is because our usual practice for email is that when we want to send a file, we send it as attachment directly from our computer. What we should do is that upload the file in your Google Drive and then attach it to your email as a link to your Google Drive, so that when you send it, it will only consume the storage space when you uploaded the file. There's going to be a problem, especially if the file will be sent back and forth. Galing sa inyo, papadala nyo sa recipient, ibabalik sa inyo yung file, and then ibabalik nyo ulit yung file with the same file name. So ang mangyayari nun, the number of times you send it back and forth will multiply the storage occupied by that file in your Google Drive. Kaya meron ako dito 18 gig of files because I sent a video using Gmail. If I uploaded the file in my Google Drive and sent the link instead, then that file or that video, the storage used by that video will be reduced or will not multiply, especially if it goes back and forth from between recipients. Right. So when you send file attachments using Google or Gmail, make sure that you use link to Google Drive as a method of attaching your files instead of attaching the file itself from your computer. Okay, so that's the last question. Now, before we end this session, there's a new, I think it's relatively new. And we have the Google Drive Priority and Workspace. One of the discouraging aspect of working with Drive, at least for me, is having to locate the files that you need, especially if it's located in different folders. For example, I want to look at all the documents related to one subject that I made for 3 school years. 3 school years, and then it's offered every semester. That means I have 6 locations to look for the file. So I have to open those separate folders one at a time. So if I have that in my browser, I'm going to have 6 tabs open in my browser, one for different folder in my drive. Now with Google Drive Priority and Workspace, you can open every file that you want to work with regardless of the location, place it in one location. You're not copying the files, you're just creating a shortcut for all those files in one workspace. So even if the file is located in different folders, you can place that in, let's see. You can place that in your in a workspace. Mabagal lang talaga yung internet ko today. Okay, so balik tayo dito habang naglo-load yan. So in your Google Drive, you have here the priority. Okay? Then you have your workspaces. You can create a workspace, for example, a personal workspace. And then you can drag the files in your workspace regardless of the location. It will not move the file. It will just create a shortcut of your file so that you can open those files in one location without having to go through individual folders where the file is located. For example, first semester, you have Filipino subject and you created some activities there. And then the following semester, you handled another Filipino subject and you have created another activity there. And then for the next semester, for the third semester that is being offered and you were able to handle it, you want to look at the first and the second semester, the activities, and you want to combine it to create one hybrid activity. So you don't need to open the folder for the first semester. You don't need to open the folder for the second semester just to access the file. You just put the file in your workspace and then you can work from here. Those who are working with programming language, alam nila ito. So pwedeng nandito ka agad sa isang workspace. Lahat ng mga files, libraries, regardless of location, you can access it in one location. That's the workspace. I think that's the this is the new addition to the Google Drive tools. So it will identify the documents most relevant to the user. So you are allowed to organize your files within the drive. So you can work with your files from different location and then put it in one place where you can access them directly without having to open the folders again. Okay. I haven't tried it yet in this account, but on the other account, I had one workspace. Especially sa mga projects na maraming mga files, maraming contributors. Right. So in summary, these are the topics that we have discussed today. We discussed uploading, creating new files without having to start from the plus new button, uploading or saving directly from a website using a Google Chrome extension, color coding of the folders, shared folder and shared drive. So for shared folder, we created a sharing with expiration, and we also explored shared drive, how we can take advantage of this one, especially in different organizations that we are part of, and converting files using OCR to extract text from image, quick browser search without having to open your Google Drive. You can search directly from the browser. Advanced search option, we use different filters. And we also found out that Google Drive can work in offline mode. Storage management, that your Google Drive is also working with Gmail and your Google Photos. And finally, the newest addition to Google Drive, the Workspaces, where it allows you to organize your files in one place without having to move the files around. And Google's AI will look at the files which are most relevant to you and then suggest it to be included in your workspaces. Questions? So while you're thinking of your questions, in your chat box, please complete these statements, any of these statements. From the things that we have discussed today, which one you are most interested in, you are most excited to try, you are glad that you learned about it, or which one you want to learn more about. You simply need to complete the sentence. Dito yung mga items na the topics that we have discussed today. So which one is most interesting to you, exciting, you're happy that you learned about it, and the one that you want to learn more of.
Ayan. So habang nagtatype po sila sir, no, baka nag-iisip pa sila sir kung anong dito yung choice nila sir. No? I think sa akin sir for this session, I think gusto ko yung I found out yung galing sa Google Drive sir and YouTube. Pwede siyang gawing search engine. Tapos you just have to set it up for i-set mo lang yung browser and then you can actually search using your browser through your YouTube and then through your Google Drive. So it's very helpful on my part, sir. Ayan. So far, sir, meron po tayong quick answer from Ma'am Rowena. Sabi po niya, I am most interested in storage management. I am excited to try quick browser search. Ayan.
So dati nag-open pa ako ng YouTube, ano? Nag-open pa ako ng YouTube and then mag-search ng mga videos. Ngayon, diretso na lang tayo type sa browser.
Meron pa pala dito sir, I am glad I learned about offline sync. Yun din pala sir, yung offline, hindi ko rin po yun alam. So it's a good thing na share nyo po today. Ayan. And then sabi naman po ni Sir Chris, I glad to learn about offline sync. Same din po, no? And then for Ma'am Jeanette, sabi niya, I am most interested in extracting text from images. Ayan. Ito yung actually sir, ito yung one of my favorite feature ni Google Drive, no? Kayang-kaya i-convert yung mga scan documents into an editable file. Very useful. Ayan. And then from Sir Lugardo naman, I am most interested in quick browser search. I am excited to try extracting text from image. Ayan. I'm glad I learned about shared folder and shared drive. And I want to learn more about offline syncing, sabi po niya. May pahabol po si Ma'am Rowena. I want to learn more about extracting text from images. Ayan. And then sabi naman po ni Ma'am Ivy, I am excited to try extracting text from images. Ayan. Ito naman po from Teacher Rixiel. Interested in quick browser search. Excited to try offline sync. Glad to learn about extracting text from images. And then want to learn about storage management. Ayan, interesting topic po yun. How to manage your storage. Lalo na kapag regular account lang yung meron tayo, sir. Ano? Medyo yun yung...
15 gig.
Oo, kasi 15 gig lang yun. So, paano natin yun i-manage? And then from Sir George naman, glad I learned about the Workspace quick browser search and search drive. And from Ma'am Jeanette, I am glad I learned about offline sync. Mukhang marami pong nag-appreciate po, sir, dun sa offline syncing po natin. And then sabi po ni Teacher Farhana, I am most interested in the storage management. I am excited to try the advanced search option. I am glad that I learned about the offline sync. Yan. And then meron din po dito from Sir Al, I am glad to learn about exciting text from image. Parang lumalabas po dito sa atin, sir, na medyo malaki impact yung offline syncing natin at yung yung advanced search po natin. Yun yung parang karamihan po na sinasabi ng ating participants.
Isa sa mga pwedeng gawin doon sa extracting text from image, yung meron ka nakitang pangalan ng store, ano, tapos may address, may telephone number. You just take a picture of that and then upload sa Google Drive and then extract text from image para makuha mo yung mga information about the store or yung menu sa favorite restaurant mo. Take a picture of it, then makukuha mo yung address, yung mga menu na nandun using extracting text from image. Just make sure to remember that when you extract text from image, you cannot do that from image which is converted to PDF kasi dalawang layers na yun. All right, so thank you for your responses. This is the end of our session. Thank you for your responses. Thank you for listening. Roms?
Ayan. Okay. Thank you po, sir. Okay. So let me just share my screen po, no? Ayan. Okay. So share ko lang po yung aking screen. Ayan. Okay. All right. So that's our ayan, sir. Ayan. Sir Louie, nakikita po ba yung aking screen?
Yes, Roms.
All right. Ayan, okay. So maraming salamat po, Sir Louie, for Google Drive hacks, no. Napakadami po ng nating natutunan ngayon, no. So ayan, so if we appreciate Sir Louie, kindly send some heart reacts for Sir Louie. Ayan. So pa-heart naman po at ulanan natin si Sir Louie ng mga heart reacts po natin para sa kanya, no. Napaka-interesting ng kanyang shinare. Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Louie, for that. And just in case po na you have not, no, if you have not registered sa ating mga upcoming webinars po, meron pa po tayo mga 3 more webinars upcoming. Meron po tayo sa March 12, Go Paperless, Go Portable with Google Docs and Sheet Essentials. And then meron din po tayo sa March 19, okay, Meet the User-Friendly LMS na sa Google Drive. And then of course, sa March 26, ito, meron po tayo para doon sa mga gustong gumawa ng website pero walang technical background or walang funding to create their own personal website. Pwede po tayo gumawa gamit ang Google Sites. So, ano pa pong hinihintay po natin? Dear participants, tayo po ay mag-register na po para sa ating mga upcoming AFRIENDE web webinar, no? Especially sa sa ating Google application. So limited slots lang po ito. Please do send them. Sir George and Sir Aljo will be sending them to everyone, no, sa ating chat box. Okay? So Sir George or Sir Aljo, kindly type the registration link sa ating chat box po. Please send it to everyone para makita po nila yung ating link sa ating registration. Ayan, okay. And then of course, to receive your certification, you need to evaluate ang webinar experience nyo this morning. Ayan. And of course, as you have seen, medyo marami po tayong nadidiscuss sa ating AFRIENDE Learning Hub ng mga webinars po. Let's just keep in mind po, baka minsan nako-confuse kayo, ano bang Google Drive, ano bang Google application ang gagamitin natin, or ano ba mga digital tools, kasi aside from Google applications marami pa pong mga digital tools na pwede natin gamitin. Now, just a gentle reminder, gaya ng sinasabi namin sa mga webinars po namin, let's keep these 3 things. So, number 1, plan. Okay, let's plan kung ano yung gusto nating gawin. Pagplanuhin na mabuti. And then, let's explore yung ating mga tools na natututunan. Most probably sa iba sa inyo na akala natin, alam na natin yung Google Drive, but then, today we learned something new. Okay, so mga ganun. So let's explore more yung ating mga tools. And of course, choose the best tool that will accomplish or that will address your concern for that current context po. Kasi ang dami-dami nating tools. So, po tayo. Let's just choose which is the best or which is the most appropriate to be used for that particular context po. So, ayan. Okay, so plan, explore, and choose the best application for our use po. Lalo na po sa mga classes po natin. Ayan. Ayan. Okay, parang po. Ayan. Okay. So, our technical team will check on the evaluation link. Okay, so, and by the way po, teachers, mga dear participants, yung Bitly link po, kailangan po exactly the same po yung pagkakatype po natin. Medyo case sensitive po yung mga Bitly URLs po natin. Okay? So, ayan. So, nag-send po ang ating technical team ng panibagong link sa ating chat box. Okay? But again, pag Bitly po, medyo case sensitive po yung ating mga chat, no? So, ayan. And of course, just in case nakalimutan nyo po na may gusto kayong balikan, okay? Or kung gusto nyo i-review ulit yung ating mga past AFRIENDE webinars, okay? Please do subscribe sa aming channel, The EdTech Explorer, or follow us in our Facebook, The EdTech Explorer. Ina-upload po namin doon yung ating recorded session. Okay, so nandun po yung mga po. Pwede nyo pong i-review yung ating mga past sessions po natin, no? Of course, for refresher purposes. Ayan. Okay? So, ayan, maraming salamat po ulit sa pag-attend po sa aming webinar, Google Drive Hacks po, no, for today. And we'll see you all again sa aming mga next webinar. So, again, ang ating evaluation form will be available until 12 midnight today. Okay? So, please do fill up our evaluation. We love to hear from you and help us improve our future webinar, your future webinar experience with us. So maraming salamat po until our next session on March 12. Yan. Maraming salamat po. Paalam. Have a nice weekend. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you po.
Paalam.
Thank you, Sir Louie.
You're welcome. Salamat din sa pag-attend.